NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across.
Set. 18 Gators. Pick it up. Pick it up. Check out. Recon. 132 fighter. Roll out.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Check 15. Check 15.
Now Saquon Barkley. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go play action with Wilson. Flush to his right. And his pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, Smith. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 11.
Check 4.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check it back.
To throw is Ryan. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
59, ready. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 21.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Ito Smith. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Ryan buying time to his left. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
At the 26-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Fielded just inside the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, Tuesday. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike, get out. Target. Switch it. Come here, switch it.
From just shy of midfield, Ryan completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They run for the first time with Benny Snell, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Off of play action, Hill. Eluding the pressure right. He's got the first down inside the 10. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get...
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
61, matchbox right.
Play action. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He's got Smith here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's first and 10 at the 32-yard line. A give to Barkley out of the gun. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. On the run, it's Barkley, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run with Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Check 26, check 26. You draw forfeit.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson flushed out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Ryan. Open man is Amari Darboh, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check 13. Check 13. 39.
Operating from the gun, Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Banks. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Bring it. Pilot, 64, weak. Check 43.
Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Complete, Smith has it. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Hey, watch the slant. Got it. 56 for Mike, boy. 56. Check. 56. Check.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Look at me. Zipper. Hey, Wahoo. Leo.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Space to maneuver at the 40. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Well called, well blocked, and he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now. 8, read. Come on now.
A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Play action. It's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
3 scores down, not even at halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rear.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. From the 36, Ryan. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 42-yard line.
Check, 47. Watch trap. Watch QB drop. 25. Check.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
No gain on the play. Leads to 3rd and 11.
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, you know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Ready? General West.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. This is complete to Michael Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Well-timed effort by Darius Slay. A sack on the corner blitz. After the sack on first down, Wilson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Get that ball. Get that ball. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Check. Let him go.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now Ryan on first down. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Hey, check. Mike's 47. Mike 59, ready. Go. Gun.
Throwing again on second down. Ryan. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. This is Barkley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On the double. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Watch the pass. Check 3. 2 team spill.
From the 38, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down. At about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 27, Bridgewater, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now it's the backup, Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll go with Snell here on first down. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and 5 now. Ryan. And that is incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Ryan. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Bridgewater. They'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he fields it cleanly. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere, they have gone to the second half in Carolina. And the Panthers looking pretty good. Their lead growing even further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. This is Scarborough. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Check, 47. Switch.
The backup Stidham, his first throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. This is Smith, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Falcons on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Looking long for Thomas. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Scarborough. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bo Scarborough, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Barkley with a carry on first down, and he'll get about 4. So 2nd and 6 forthcoming. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll go to Barkley again. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Bridgewater. Open man is Michael Thomas. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on second down, Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's boom, boom. 3 down, 3 down. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Hey, pick your game up. Mike 52, Mike 52.
Now Bridgewater on 4th down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Off the edge, the sack by Reggie Ragland. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Atlanta, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.